Dude, so give me 1 second. The thing wasn't loading. Sorry, can you do that again? My bad. Good. Well, I'm live now. My broadcast wasn't working for some reason, so we're good now. Sorry about that. Yep.
3, 2, 1. Beer Shot Reality on WrestleZone.com. Continuing on.
Man, that's a tough one. I don't think that's a reality. I think Jinder Mahal right now as WWE champion is still a good thing because there's a lot of options that you can use on SmackDown Live. But Jinder Mahal is still, for lack of a better term, still the fresh option. It's the fresh option for WWE because I do think you have him and Shinsuke Nakamura, at SummerSlam, a match we haven't seen. You can still use Jinder Mahal and John Cena, a match that we've not really seen. So there's more fresh feuds for Jinder Mahal on SmackDown. I don't think his championship reign has been a disappointment. A lot of people said that about JBL when he had his year-long reign, but you go back in history, and that's something that you remember. You remember JBL as a long-time SmackDown champion. I think Jinder Mahal has done everything he's been able to do right now. He's not the absolute best on the mic. He's not the absolute best in the ring, but he is polarizing. He's looked the part. He is the part, and I think it is not a reality for that with Jinder Mahal. Heading on to my former boy, Enzo Amore. Justin, reality check or not, Enzo Amore should be concerned with his role on WWE Raw. Oh, that's a tough one. I'm going to say it is not a reality. And I'll tell you this, I would love to see those two guys back together for a brief period. But this time, wouldn't it suit Dean Ambrose better to be the one that gets his ultimate revenge and turns his back on Seth Rollins? Push these guys as two of the top faces in the company back together. Maybe tease a little Roman Reigns here and there. When the Shield broke up, they were still extremely hot. I thought it was the right time because you were ready for one of these guys to take a huge step forward, and that ended up being Seth Rollins, followed by the mixed reaction for Roman Reigns, a handful of months later down the road. But if you have these two guys getting a chance to be tag team champions, you get the crowd behind them, even possibly teasing a little bit of use of a former Shield gear, really going full out with this, it would make a Dean Ambrose heel turn so much more effective. And isn't that what we really want right now, Justin? We need a Dean Ambrose heel turn. Anybody wants anything good to happen, and we need Dean Ambrose to be that guy to turn heel. We have too many faces ahead of him on WWE Raw. Consider the Rollinses, the Finn Balor's. The list goes on WWE Raw with really good faces. So you need a legitimate badass heel. And I think Dean Ambrose, given the right time and build with a teasing of a Shield reunion, it could be that guy. It could be that born heel on WWE Raw. Last one for you, Justin. Reality check or not, as split up now, Chad Gable will prove to be the more successful member of American Alpha.
I'm going to say this is
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe Justin, maybe just maybe. Well, maybe just maybe Justin, size. If size really mattered, let's be completely honest with you, I'd be the guy that's verified on Twitter and not you, and that's a scientific fact. Cool.
All right.
Can you hear me if I do this?
Eisenberg sucks.
Who is that?
The Juice.
How many drinks has Juice had today?
What's that?
How many drinks has Juice had today? 9, 10?
Who knows?
Why do I suck, Juice? That was rude. I never even said anything bad about you yet.
He's in the director's room playing with the speakers.
Tell Juice to go fuck himself.
Did you hear what I said?
Fuck you, Juice.
That last segment.
What did he say last segment?
Josh, you good on your end?
Yeah, good to go.
All right, here we go. And fine.
Yep. Well, I think it's interesting that they make him the special guest referee, Justin. There was talk of having a Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon match at SummerSlam. I was against that idea. I thought it'd be rushed too quickly, and that match really wouldn't do Kevin Owens much favors now. There's an elite class that the McMahons fight with. You know, obviously, whenever people were talking about AJ Styles and Shane McMahon, look at what they did at WrestleMania, but they had more of a build than a couple of weeks. So if it was Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens, I feel like it would have been rushed, pushed together, and you know what you're going to get with AJ Styles and Kevin Owens competing one-on-one. Adding Shane McMahon here only continues a future match between Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. There's going to be such a stacked card at SummerSlam you can really use with the way the WWE Network is used now for a SmackDown-only pay-per-view to possibly be headlined or be one of the two main events with the Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens. Hell, it could even come to Survivor Series whenever, I mean, Shane McMahon has had some memorable moments at pay-per-views not called WrestleMania, and I think that you can really use his offensive ability outside of SummerSlam. You have so many athletes, you have so many good matches already booked for it. Start this feud, and maybe Kevin Owens gets screwed out once again. I think, it's not going to be something clean. It's going to be, they're behind me, they're against me, I can't turn my back without a McMahon stabbing me there, whether it's Shane, Vince, Stephanie. But I do think this is the beginning of a longer Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon feud. Mhm. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing, isn't it? It's so amazing that, you know, people are bitching and complaining that Kevin Owens isn't necessarily competing for the WWE World Championship. Well, aside from this week, when it was headlined by John Cena and Shinsuke Nakamura, Justin, do you remember the last time the World Championship feud actually ended SmackDown? Because I don't. It's been a long time since you've seen Jinder Mahal or the World Championship and SmackDown become the main event, the headline, and that even takes us back to what happened this past week on Raw with Big Show and Big Cass. So being in a World Championship or Universal Championship feud doesn't necessarily mean you're the number one storyline in the eyes of WWE. Mm-hmm. Mm.
Or no, Kevin Owens calling out Shane, calling out his wife Marissa, calling out maybe even making a mention of his kids. I mean, there's a lot of potential of those moments. I guess everybody going old and you just say that when you're supposed to say that WWE can incorporate here because Kevin Owens is that kind of guy or character where you believe that he would push the envelope. Kind of similar to CM Punk. I'll never forget the famous CM Punk one when he and Triple H were face to face, and he said, "This isn't CM Punk talking Triple H. This is still
Yeah.
Everybody lost their mind for a moment because, like, nobody's ever done, nobody says that. So I think Kevin Owens can have those kind of moments if this feud with Shane McMahon really gets red hot enough.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how this gets.
And I am too, Justin. And you said there's so many levels and so many dynamics and details that can be added to the story. If you really want to get personal and if you potentially want to have Kevin Owens as this super huge heel, I mean, you have a Triple H is one of the best heels, I think, in the business over the past decade. He's so much better at that, but he still gets a great positive reaction every time. You could really use an Owens-McMahon kind of feud where Owens goes not after just Shane McMahon, but goes after, like you said, people might be talking about his wife and kids. Kevin could do the same thing with Shane and his kids and potentially his sister and his brother-in-law and really stir something between the entire McMahon family, something reminiscent to what the Attitude Era storylines gave us. Mm-hmm. Yep. Alrighty, sir. Thanks, buddy. All right, man. Take care, guys. Welcome back to Chair Shot Reality on WrestleZone.com, at Josh Eisenberg4 on Twitter. But now, you love it, you need it, you want some more of it, and it's time for NXT in 90. Johnny Wrestling made his return, not debut, he's been here for quite some time, made his return to NXT in-ring competition following a brutal attack from Tommaso Ciampa months ago at NXT TakeOver, a quick victory, and Johnny Wrestling is just getting started. Ember Moon getting another opportunity against the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. She comes out, does not shake the hand of her competitor, Ember Moon. That's going to take place at NXT TakeOver in Brooklyn. But then Ember Moon hits her finisher off the top rope from behind, and finally we're getting that fire. Finally we're getting that passion. This match will be great at NXT TakeOver. If Asuka loses, the landscape of women's wrestling in NXT has changed forever. The main event of NXT this past week was Kyle O'Reilly, former world champion of Ring of Honor, taking on Aleister Black. Aleister Black is must-see, unique. It is everything that a main event superstar could want. The look, the kicks, the ability, the athleticism, the agility, the power. He has it all. A victory over that. But later in the night, as you saw on WWE.com, Hideo Itami tried to attack him backstage. It was announced that Hideo Itami will take on Aleister Black at NXT TakeOver, which is really convoluting the idea of Aleister Black maybe not having a match, but Hideo Itami and Cassius Ohno having a match at TakeOver. Not sure why that's not happening because that's been the longest feud in NXT over the past 2 or 3 months. But Aleister Black versus Itami will be great and will prove in the ring that Aleister Black could be the next guy to challenge for the NXT Championship. That is your NXT in 90. I am Josh Eisenberg, and like I said before, follow me at Josh Eisenberg4. We're going to send it in studio where I'm going to have Justin LaBar and Juice. But LaBar, I told you and everyone who listened that Shinsuke Nakamura was going to beat John Cena and go for the WWE Championship. I even got a case of beer out of that.